All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. So this is the preview episode of the midweek matches. We've got some cracker of matches for you. So we've got the Copa Italia semi-final second leg. I think we've got some matches in the Premier League. We've got uh, some matches in the Bundesliga as well, along with La Liga. So yeah, we've got an exciting lineup for you guys. So where do we begin, Amitabh?
Yeah, so we begin in the Premier League and the small matter of Liverpool versus Manchester United that is going to take place tomorrow. Um, Again, we all know that Liverpool and Man City have to aim at perfection in order to get the title. So there's absolutely no room for error for both the teams. And when it comes to United, who huffed and puffed their way in order to be to the bottom side of Norwich, I don't really have a prayer for them. I think Liverpool at home will romp home. It can get ugly for United if Liverpool want it to be. So at least a 3-0 win for Liverpool. Rahul?
I I mean, yes, I do. Obviously, even I feel like Liverpool are the ones who are the favorites for this match. However, I don't really think it'll be as high as it was in the corresponding fixture at Old Trafford. I mean, that was like 5-0, and could have been more. However, I don't think it's going to be that high because United would also want to, try to do some damage. At the same time, they've got their own aspirations of a top four finish. A 2-0 Liverpool victory. Even someone like Salah, I think, is not really firing as such. So that's something that we've also got to take into account. Yeah, it'll be a cagey affair in my opinion. For some reason, I have this feeling. 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, talking about Salah, it was actually something that I was, thinking the other day that since he's been back from African Cup, he hasn't really, set the world alight. And of course, they have a great squad and, likes of Jota and Diaz, obviously money. They have come in and sort of not felt that need or that vacuum that Salah has created, but Salah has not been on top of his game of late.
I've got a bad feeling about him, to be honest. I'm not sure if I should even say this. I've got a bad feeling that he's not really gonna score that much, but then when he's gonna score, it's not really gonna be a good sight for us, for Chelsea fans, if you know what I mean.
Right. Okay, talking about Chelsea, on Wednesday, we have the London Derby against Arsenal. Again, Arsenal have lost their previous three matches, and if the current trend is to be, analyzed, they always come in this match, especially at Stamford Bridge, with little to no hope, and they somehow exceed, everybody's expectation. So we have our own challenge. We have to wrap up that third position, and again, I have, I think I've said it previously that this match will actually, in a way, define our season because if we fumble here and give that slight opening to the likes of Spurs and of course Arsenal. Again, we just discussed that we have to still play 9 matches in under a month, so we have to like completely take Arsenal out of the equation and try and win this. Whether we can do it, of course, I always believe that we can, but the physical hardship on the squad and our players, it has been for everyone to see. So I just hope that we make it 2-1. Rahul?
Yeah, to be honest, even I'm a little more hopeful than I was probably a week or so ago. Uh, the fact that the game against Crystal Palace ended in 90 minutes, the fact that Tuchel was able to rotate and he was still able to make 5 substitutions. I mean, obviously, we've got a game against West Ham after this at the weekend, but then for Arsenal, it's again 2 games in a row wherein they're playing top four hopeful. So it's Chelsea on Wednesday, and then they play Manchester United again uh, at the Emirates. So maybe they'll have an eye on that match as well. Maybe they'll think that that is a more winnable fixture than this one. At the same time, I think Tuchel will also have it in his mind, that last season we lost at Stamford Bridge, Emil Smith Rowe with Jorginho making that howler, that blunder. So I'm sure maybe he'll use that to motivate players. I personally don't really think that this will be the match that will define our season because we still have some easier fixtures. Plus, we've got that cushion as well of points over Arsenal. Uh, and now I think it's the same number of matches for everyone except for obviously the FA Cup final. But it's like even if we're not, even though we're not in any other competition, but still we've got games every 3 days, which is in a way the same for every other team. I mean, even Arsenal have to play, I think, some rearranged fixtures, from their time, when they had just one COVID case, but still were able to postpone matches. Uh, so yes, I think it's going to be difficult for all those teams. Um, like I said, I would be okay with a draw considering the circumstances, but I'm never going to predict we're going to lose, obviously. So yes, uh, 2-1 or maybe even 1-0 Chelsea, but I hope that we win. Yeah.
Yeah. The next match is Everton against Leicester. Leicester who lost against Newcastle yesterday, and Everton who've actually got this weekend off. So yeah, at home I am slightly favoring Everton to win this one. Again, it will not be easy, but yeah, a 2-1 win for Everton.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 1-0 because I don't. I mean, for me, it's like Everton will score one and then they'll try to defend that one goal. I don't think that if Leicester equalize, then they have it in them to score another goal. I just don't see it. So I'm gonna go with a 1-0 victory. Uh, yeah, for Everton, they've got a good, decent record at least. Ever since Lampard has come in, they've got a decent record at the Goodison Park. And the fact that they had a weekend off because obviously they were not in the FA Cup, and the team that they were supposed to play, I think, was in the FA Cup. So yes, I think maybe Lampard would have used that time on the training pitch to motivate the troops, and a 1-0 victory for uh, Everton. Yeah.
Yeah, then we have City against Brighton. Again, Brighton really high on confidence right now, 6 points against Spurs and Arsenal. But again, Manchester City will be a different ball game altogether. City again played with no disrespect to the squad, but a depleted side against City against Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-finals. So I think their first choice players will be back for this one. Again, just like Liverpool, they have to like aim and sort of maintain perfection in order to clinch the title. So can't really see. Yeah, at home City will be just too strong for Brighton. I was just thinking of a draw, but then no, City will win it 3-1.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that we can put a draw past Brighton right now, to be honest. The form that they've been showing, 2 victories in North London. But then again, at the same time, we've got to take now, especially from now on, the timing of the matches into consideration. The fact that Liverpool would have already played their game, so they will be, if they manage to beat Manchester United, they will be the ones at the top of the table. So yes, again, that will put added pressure on Manchester City. Um, so yes, and the fact that they lost Liverpool as well in the FA Cup semi-final, so you've got to say that it's City are the favorites. Yes, 2-1, 2-1 City.
Okay, and finally we have Burnley against Southampton. Burnley at home. I think this will be a draw. 2-2 down.
I mean, that's the thing, Burnley, we just don't know what they're going to be like from now on, because they don't really have. I read something about, them hiring a short term coach, I think maybe till the end of the season and then see how it goes. Maybe Burnley have also accepted that this is what their fate is going to be, that they're going to go to the championship. We just don't know, like who's managing. I think it's Ben Me, the captain slash player slash coach role. So we don't know what their tactics are. I think it's going to be a little unpredictable. Yeah, really hard to call in my opinion. Whereas Southampton will be so buoyed. So after the 1-0 victory over Arsenal, but then that Southampton, you you beat someone like Arsenal 1-0 at home, and then you go to Turf Moor and yeah, man, draw. Yeah, safest option.
Yeah. Okay. In Europe, so we have a whole host of La Liga fixtures. Tomorrow, Real Betis will be squaring off against Elche, who are actually 13th in the table. So three teams are on 60 points, having played the same number of Barcelona 30 matches and Sevilla and Atletico Madrid 60 matches. But if Betis win this match tomorrow, they'll also be on 60 points, having played 33 matches. And I have this feeling that I think Sevilla will drop out somehow. So just because they've like in the 5 previous matches, they have been able to, get only 5 points. So the can't even say a blip now. Their form has been really, treacherous for a couple of months now, and it looked like Betis, who were for in the top four for so long in the season, but when they finally dropped out, it looked like they would kind of capitulate. But they've actually shown a lot of spine, and they have had 11 points in the previous 5 matches. So I'm actually backing Betis now to be in the top four. So I see them winning this match against Elche at home. Maybe 2-0. Rahul.
Yeah, even I feel like Betis, or the fact that they're out of all the other competitions, yes. And the fact that the free fall, the downfall that Sevilla are going through right now. I even read a stat about Sevilla that they've actually conceded so many goals in their last 10 or 11 matches. I think that's more than they conceded in their previous I think season, or maybe. But my only the reason why I'm so concerned about Sevilla's defense is because they have a certain Jules Koundé in their defense. So I mean, because he's constantly being linked with Chelsea, that's another reason why I just hope that his form is temporary, and maybe it's because he's playing because of the players around him, not because of not. It's not a reflection of him personally. Um, so yes, I do feel like Real Betis do have a very good chance if we are continuing to play the way they are playing. I think a lot of those things have to be said about. I mean, Sevilla have, or maybe I'm talking more about Sevilla, but yes, 2-0 Real Betis. Yeah.
Okay. In the next match, it is Villarreal against Valencia. I think Villarreal should win this 2-1. No?
I've actually got a feeling that's going to be a one-all draw. I think maybe now they will look to rest some players. I mean, he didn't really rest a lot of players at the weekend, but still they got away with the victory at Getafe. But yes, I think finally the hangover, they'll face it. I mean, yes, they were so cheered up, after the victory at Bayern Munich that didn't really affect them against Getafe. But I think in this match, yes, uh, I think a one-all draw.
Okay, on Wednesday, we have Atletico against Granada. Again, on paper, this is a very winnable match for Atletico, but you somehow kind of trust them to make it, difficult, more difficult than it actually should be. So I'm going for a 2-1 win for Atletico. But again, the second goal will be scored pretty late in the match. Maybe again it's a penalty. So yeah, 2-1 for Atletico. Rahul?
Yeah, I think 2-0 Atletico. I think I was just checking the corresponding fixture. It actually ended in Granada's favor, 2-1. But yeah, it's just a different Atletico side now. They've got almost all their players back from injury. They've got such an attacking lineup, like so many attacking players. Uh, yeah, 2-0 Atletico.
Okay, and then we have Osasuna against Real Madrid. Again, difficult to pick anyone except Madrid, at least in La Liga right now. Madrid to win this one. I think it will be difficult. A 1-0 win. Now,
Yeah, I mean, yes, they already went to Seville. I think they're one of the only team to beat Sevilla at their home stadium this season. So yes, a great result for them. But even now, I think I don't really see Ancelotti rotating a lot. I don't see him tweaking a lot. I think we'll see the same old suspects, players like Benzema. Maybe we'll see someone like Rodrigo start because of his form in the last two matches. But other than that, yes, maybe someone like Casemiro could also come back in because of his suspension. Now that he's not really suspended, or I'm not really sure if it's a 3-match ban or a 1-match ban. But yes, if that's the case, then maybe he'll miss more matches. But other than that, yes, you've got to say that Madrid will have an eye on wrapping up the title as soon as possible, so that then they can focus on their matches on the semi-final against Manchester City. A 1-0 victory, yes, another one of the usual suspects, either Benzema or Vinicius to score.
yeah, on Thursday, we have Levante, who've actually gotten 2 wins out of the previous 3 matches against Sevilla. And I'm predicting more of misery for Sevilla. Again, as I've already said that I'm backing Betis to get into that fourth position. So I see Levante winning this one actually, 1-0.
Yes, I mean, I'm just taking a look at the corresponding fixture. It was a high-scoring match, 5-3 to Sevilla. But yes, fortunes have turned. Yes, Levante now fighting a relegation battle. I think I mentioned earlier as well, their coach Javier Aguirre, if I'm not wrong. Whereas Sevilla are just struggling so much right now. They just don't really have an answer. I think, yes. So I wanted to talk about this earlier when we were talking about the Real Betis match. I think the problem with Sevilla is that they've actually made a lot of signings, but then almost all of the signings haven't clicked. Even in January, they signed someone like Martial, they signed someone like, I think, the Porto winger, Tecatito or Jesus Corona. But almost all of these players, they have just not clicked for them. So that's another reason why it's not really a good time to be a Sevilla fan right now, which obviously I'm not. But then uh, and yes, when you play against team, who's so hard to beat in a way, someone who's fighting relegation, someone who knows what they want. So yes, it's going to be a hard match. Even I predict a hard-fought 1-0 victory for Levante.
Yeah, then we have Real Sociedad against Barcelona. Now Barcelona will be playing the match today and then again on Thursday, so maybe that will be a factor. And I think the Real Madrid's win yesterday would have taken the wind out of the sails of Barcelona as well, because even though it was distant, they did have a target in mind. But now, in all likelihood, even I'm sure they don't think that Madrid are going to fumble this gravely that Barcelona can get another comeback. So away from home, Sociedad, I think this would be a draw. 2-2.
I mean, yeah. Again, it also depends really on how the match against Mallorca goes. It's just going to be 3 days. I think. Having said that, we all know that I think David Silva is not going to be a part of this match. He was sent off in their match in the prior match for Real Sociedad. Uh, I mean, even Pedri, I think he's been injured. I think he got injured in the match against Frankfurt. I think a hamstring injury, yes. So even he's gonna miss some matches. But Barcelona still got a big squad, a huge squad. I've got a feeling that they're gonna nick this 1-1.
Okay, okay. So now we can discuss the Coppa Italia semi-finals, second leg. The first one, that the match that will be played tomorrow is Inter Milan against AC Milan, the Milan derby. Given the position that these two teams are in the title race for Serie A, I really don't know whether they are going to, put out the best teams. I hope they do. I hope they don't prioritize. I mean, they give this match enough importance and respect, uh, because this might be one of the teams, will win the title. This might be the only option for the other team for some silverware this season. So again, Milan derby, I have to choose, AC Milan. That's just the way things are. And I also predicted before this fixture that I am, actually picking Milan to go through. So I am sticking by that prediction. 2-1, 2-1 to Milan. Now,
I mean, yeah, I don't think that any of the teams would want this match to go to extra time. Because both these teams actually have a very important fixture now this weekend as well. Inter actually play Mourinho's Roma, and AC Milan actually travel to Lazio. So yes, both teams would want to get this sorted. Having said that, like you said, if uh, both the teams rotate, then in my opinion, it actually suits Inter Milan a lot more because they have a bigger squad. Simply put. And even I said that I actually see Inter Milan going through. So yes, I'm gonna stick with that prediction. 2-1 Inter Milan. 2-1 Inter Milan.
okay.
Alexis Sanchez to score.
Yeah, the second goal in second half extra time, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, the second semi-final, Juventus against Fiorentina. Juventus won this match in the first leg away from home, but I'm actually backing the team from Florence to go through, simply based on current form. So yeah, I think this match will go to extra time and then not to penalties. 2-1 in 90 minutes to Fiorentina, and then the winner in the extra time. So 3-1. 3-1 overall. I mean, 3-2 aggregate and 3-1 in the second leg. No?
So you're expecting Fiorentina to win, right?
Yes.
Okay. But yes, even I have a feeling that they will take the game to extra time. I think they lost 1-0 at home if you're to Juventus. I think it's going to be 3-2. They're going to beat Juventus 3-2 in 90 minutes. That'll take the game to extra time. And yes, even I expect the game to go to penalty. I mean, I expect the game to go to penalties, and then Fiorentina to beat Juventus. I mean, we talked about when we reviewed their match in Serie A at the weekend. I think they've got a very depleted midfield right now. Whereas I think because they drop points against Bologna, I think for them, I think it's more important that they finish in the top four. I think a Champions League place is a must for Juventus. So I do expect Allegri to make some changes, and that will play right into Fiorentina's hands. I expect Fiorentina to go through, yes.
Yeah, okay. I think we've covered almost all the important matches. So with that, we'll come to the end of this podcast, guys. Thank you so much for your time, and please do enjoy all these matches. We again have some very, very tasty affairs. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys.